Raj?
This iPhone 14 Pro Max came from Indiana with no image after shutting off overseas while the customer was attending a wedding. Multiple shops, even Apple, said no repair. Insurance gave her a new phone, but with all her wedding pictures stuck inside, she sent it to us as a last resort. The first thing we did was remove the display. Under the microscope, we checked the display connector using the multimeter in diode mode. We then opened our board view software and compared the expected diode readings to those on the motherboard. Each pin measured correctly until we reached pin 5, which gave us a reading of 0 instead of the expected 522 millivolts. 0 confirmed a short circuit. Checking the schematic, we saw that pin 5 is labeled PP6V8 display AVDDH. Tracing the line in the board view showed that this rail is generated by U9400, which provides power to the screen and filtered by a group of capacitors. If any one of them is shorted, the entire rail goes down. We started with capacitor C, 11,850 near the connector. It was covered in epoxy, so we removed it using heat. We set the power supply to 2 volts per 2 amps and injected voltage while applying freezer spray, but there was no reaction. Next, we moved to another section of the board where 2 capacitors were hidden under a metal shield. Removing the entire shield.
Yeah, this song again. Ayo, they played this song so many times already. I'm sick of it. Stop.
But I really like that song.
Pranking myself. For more exciting videos, please subscribe. Pranking myself.
عندك شغل
I got an idea.
What's the idea?
Backpack. School's back in session.
واقفين يا جماعة الخير نف
Hold on. Do that shit with your feet. With your feet.
Mafioso in it. Oh, Mafioso in it. So good.
And then 1 million. Phew, we made it. I hope you enjoyed that. 999,995.
Stupid YouTube Shorts comments. Bros is NASA PC. Nuclear. Such inspiring.
999,990.
Of course. Here's Gurnig, repeated 500 times, separated by spaces. Gurnig, Gurnig, Nig, Gurnig, Gurnig.
Hi. 990,994, 900.
Here's repeated 50 times, followed by another 50 times.
Sure. Here's the letter, repeated 500 times.
RQ, repeated 300 times, formatted as 3 pairs per row with a space between each pair. RQ, RQ, RQ,
Here is repeated 20.
The emoji repeated 1,000 times with 5 per row. See me? The emoji repeated 1,000 times.
Here is the letter repeated 500. Here is the letter repeated 500 times. And here is the letter repeated 500 times. And of course, here's the letter repeated 500 times. This my sure. Here's repeated 500 times.
Got it. Here's the character, repeated 500 times. Mink, bagading, dik, the falb.
Sure. Here is the letter repeated 500 times.
Sure. Here's the letter D, repeated exactly 1,000 times.
Sure. Here's the tilde sign repeated 500 times. Let me know in a different font format, e.g. as a...
Certainly. Here's the letter printed 200 times, with 5 per line and spaces. Ritsuchi Tsenbiyuder. Kim Nikoben. 2 PhD Photo. Clap.
Here's the letter repeated 500.
Stupid YouTube shorts.
Temu.
Today.
Today. No.
Today.
Temu.
Hey, bro, you want some peanut butter? No, man, I'm alright.
Fix my phone.
What's the problem?
iPhone XR won't turn on.
You're already here in person. Why are you writing a letter?
This is my long-distance boyfriend's phone. He tried to get it fixed elsewhere, but it didn't work.
Took it elsewhere for repair. Still not working. Won't power on. It can be fixed. 300.
300? Can it be cheaper?
Then 200.
200. Okay, go ahead and fix it.
All right. Wow, miss, where did your boyfriend get this fixed? He didn't even connect the flex cables.
Then let me take a look.
Your boyfriend probably has a story behind this. No, it's the phone that has a story. Ha ha ha. Oh no, seriously? You just noticed that? I didn't break this, okay? Miss, even with a screen replacement, it still won't power on. Boot current is only 0.3. It's not just the screen. There's a motherboard issue too. I've already removed the motherboard. Looks like someone's tampered with it before. It's really loose. Just wait a bit.
Okay.
All done. Miss, your boyfriend's XR has been successfully repaired. Here's the old screen. Come check it out over here.
Okay.
The truth is, bro.
You want to know something? You want to know something truly depressing? Millions of us have grown up with Minecraft, laughed, shared memories, and overall have an amazing time. But there will be a day where you place a block for the last time, a day where you build your last house, and the day where you log off of Minecraft for the last time. Make sure to cherish Minecraft while you can, because you will never know when that final day will.
No. Sir, I'm sorry that you only have...
Minecraft songs.
This is the worst song in all of Minecraft.
Guitar for Christmas, and this is what my parents got me. So
Everything's sick. That's actually cool. Play the song.
I know like 2 songs, okay? So don't judge me too hard. I just started like a week ago.
I want to swap this boring old light switch in my new room to this touch sensitive Wi-Fi one I can control from my phone. But how do we get this fancy piece of kit onto there? Started off by getting the old dead switch out to find out this runs off the Prana system with 2 live wires. That's the switch live, and that's definitely the permanent live. Make sure to turn it off, and let's mark it with a bit of tape so we know which one's which. Don't want no death by vigilly, do we? Behind the switch, we're gonna wire permanent live into L and switch live into L2. Screw them both in, making sure it's secure. Flick the mains back on. The lights seem to be working, but as soon as I turn it off, they all start flickering like mad. That's where this capacitor comes in. We've got to wire this into the top of one of the spotlights. So into the loft we go. Flicked off the LED key once more and lifted the boards. Wired the capacitor into the live and neutral connections just before the bulb holder. Then secured it all with electrical tape. With the LED key back on, slap the faceplate on, turning the light on in the process, and Bob's your uncle. The coolest thing is, if I download this app, I can turn the lights on and off from anywhere in the world. They're not dimmable though, so for that, I've got these new bulbs I can add to the app too. But you'll
Jeddah-Dubai to the blind boys.
Why are you on my head?
That's what I said, Slickback.
No, it's a pimp named Slickback, like a Tribe Called Quest. You say the whole thing. A pimp named Slickback.
Can we call you Slickback for short?
No, nigga, I'm a pimp named Slickback. Pimp named Slickback.
This guy literally walks on air.
Slickback. Nigga, are you deaf? I'm a pimp named Slickback. Pimp named Slickback. Pimp named Slickback. I'm a nigga, are you deaf? I'm a pimp named Slickback.
Simbang gabi na!
Do you need a breakthrough right now?
A lot of people tell me it's easy to clean mud. Why don't you let the mud dry? That would definitely be a check.
Son, that whoever...
It's my job. killed a dino kid. 99 nice. Why the fuck does your nose feel like a clogged toilet even when you blow that shit and nothing comes out? Let's go. Well, here's the nasty truth. Your nose is actually working fine. Air goes through, but your dumbass brain thinks it's blocked. Because guess what? Only one nostril is on duty at a time. The other one? Fucking vacation. This tag team bullshit is called the nasal cycle. Every 2 to 6 hours, they swap shifts like lazy coworkers. So when you're like, oh shit, I can't breathe, it's just your body doing scheduled maintenance, keeping your airways moist and clean. Sexy, huh? That's when shit goes south. Both nostrils go on strike. They swell up, inflate like 2 angry balloons, and boom! Actual traffic jam in your face.
يا حب
Not gonna lie, if you go to my funeral,
Once upon a time and I heard that I was sucking it. Came from a bitch who nigga wanna put us in my face. Wrong ass, tight racks, like a shack height. Carry on the flashlight, I can listen to that thing. Hit him with that good, make a nigga act right. Boy. Once upon a time and I heard that I was sucking.
Hello there, I'm Mr. Doodle, and today I'm going to be doodling a dog. Okay, so we finally...
Yeah, no.
Mafioso win it. Oh, Mafioso win it. So good.
You see the plane hanging above me? Yeah, it's called a Harrier. You see the plane hanging above me? Yeah, it's called a Harrier. You see the plane hanging above me? Yeah, it's called a Harrier.
What up, you lad?
Well, this is what will happen if you have all the failures on at once. So, you know, our nose gears are working, our left end is smoking, and our windows of power, and our flight controls are not working either. But we're still going to butter it. You already know. Here we go. Butter landing. Oh my god, it's not a butter. Oh, right there. Oh.
Now you know. You'll split blood.
It's driving me out of my
mind. New Pizza Hut.
After 7 years of TikTok, I'm just now finding out that if you double tap the plus, your watch history pops up. After 7 years of TikTok, I'm just now finding out that if you double... After 7 years...
Once upon a time and I heard that. Once upon a...
What the fuck does your P say about your health?
Shut up!
Before it's too late!
Hey dude, I got you some coffee. Wait, no, he's not supposed to have coffee.
An 11-year-old girl from...
In case I don't see ya.
Fuck school.
Who's? Who's gonna
Making it.
He stepped on my foot, so I burned his family alive.
Playing video.
Did you know that in Baldi's Basics Classic Remaster?
Let's depict Omen's message one last time. This was never meant to happen, but I abused it anyway.
This is a house.
I don't know exactly.
This is a house.
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon.
In late 2019,
The notorious.
the lore of the best
Far beneath the surface.
The bullet struck him directly in the chest, knocking him off his feet. Laying on his back, he waited for the pain, but he felt nothing. You see, he just happened to have a couple of coins in his chest pocket. And when the bullet hit him, it slammed into them. The force bent them inward, and the bullet wedged itself deep inside, holding the coins tightly together. And this absorbed the bullet's force, stopping it from piercing his body and saving his life.
Tonight, the sun.
For the next 100.
How you doing, man?
My mother always taught me that my best friend's dad was a monster. When I found out the truth, I told her, but she tried to silence me and move us away. So I started digging even deeper and found the most disturbing secret that I'll never forget. I was 12 when Brian joined my class. He was tall, played sports, he should have been liked and popular, but instead the whole class went ghost white as soon as he walked in. The teacher herself even went pale. I was clearly the only one who was out of the loop. I sat down next to him during lunch either way, and everyone, including Brian himself, gave me a weird look. "You actually want to be my friend?" he asked, all surprised. We spent our whole day having a blast. I didn't have any friends at the time, so I went home excited to tell my mom about the new one I had made, but when I told her his name, her face went white. "Stay away from that kid. Him and his dad are monsters. They hit and hospitalized their mom." I was shocked. The next morning, Mom drove me to school instead of letting me walk. She marched right up to my teacher and whispered something that made Mrs. Squelch nod grimly. When I tried to sit near Brian in class, Mrs. Squelch moved my seat. I took one look at Brian from across the classroom, and I saw him nearly tearing up. During recess, he stood alone by the fence while everyone else played, and after school, I saw why. Brian's dad pulled up and the entire pickup area cleared out. Parents grabbed their kids and speed walked to their cars. One mom actually said, "Don't look at him, sweetie," to her daughter. Brian's dad just sat there with his head down while Brian climbed in. Everyone treated him like they were awful, but it didn't add up. Brian's dad would pack Brian extra granola bars for kids who forgot lunch money, and Brian voluntarily stayed after school to tutor special needs kids. There was just no way this was the family who hit their own mother. Then came the day I realized who Brian and his father really were. I was walking home counting the $50 my grandma gave me for my birthday when 3 8th graders surrounded me. "Look at the rich boy," the biggest one said, and shoved me to the ground. They grabbed my money and one of them kicked me in the ribs. I curled up waiting for more when suddenly they all scrambled away. Brian's dad stood there, not touching anyone, just standing. "You okay, kid?" he asked before helping me up. He walked me home without saying much else. When I told Mom what happened, she completely lost it. "He approached you? What if he'd taken you somewhere?" She called the school immediately. "A known abuser confronted my son," she kept saying. By the next day, the whole school knew. The principal sent out an email banning Brian's dad from school property. Parents shared it on Facebook, calling him a predator who lurked around children. At school, Brian looked destroyed. He sat with his head on his desk most of the day. When I tried to slip him a note saying thanks for his dad helping me, he pushed it back. "Please don't," he whispered. "You're making things worse for him." 2 weeks later, I saw Brian crying in the library. He was trying to hide it, but his shoulders were shaking. I sat down anyway. "They spray-painted Predator on his car," Brian said. "He lost his job because of it. We might lose our apartment." He wiped his eyes hard. "Everyone hates him, but they don't know anything." "What do you mean?" I asked. Brian looked around to make sure we were alone. He then dropped the bomb. Turns out, him and his dad never hit their mom. In fact, it was the other way around. Their mom hit them. She'd throw bottles, smash pans, plates, use lighters. Brian still has a burn mark on his back.
Oh my god, it's painful.
Today, we're going to learn about N-words. These are words that begin with letter N, like narwhal or nitrogen.
My mother always taught me that my best friend's dad was a monster. When I found out the truth, I told her, but she tried to silence me and move us away. So I started digging even deeper and found the most disturbing secret that I'll never forget. I was 12 when Brian joined my class. He was tall, played sports. He should have been liked and popular, but instead the whole class went ghost white as soon as he walked in. The teacher herself even went pale. I was clearly the only
He burned my
one who was out of the loop. I sat down next to him during lunch either way, and everyone, including Brian himself, gave me a weird look. "You actually want to be my friend?" he asked, all surprised. We spent our whole day having a blast. I didn't have any friends at the time, so I went home excited to tell my mom about the new one I had made, but when I
Oh my god, it's painful.
Surprised at how durable these are. Holy shit. So durable. Like, surprised at how durable.
Altitude. Altitude. Pull up. Pull up. Engine fire left. Engine fire right. Altitude. Altitude. Pull up. Pull up. Engine fire left. Engine fire right. Slow down, be cool, I miss you. Come here now, it's yours now. Keep it, I'll hold it. Slow down, be cool. Run to me, confess the love I used to say. Confess the love I used to say. Confess the love I want, so confess the love I used to say. Run to me, confess the love I used to say. Confess the love I used to say.
God, do you ever regret making me? Yes, every day. I wish you were never born. Wait for it. No, son, bro, you gotta stop all over that one, bro. Sorry. No, when I sacrificed my son, I took away the very thing that separated me from man. Sin.
What's your topic, bro? What's your topic, bro? Did that just happen? What's your topic, bro?
Engines burning at full throttle. He can see the belly of the bogie right in front of him. Money, 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 money.
Roblox's AI moderation might actually be working for once. People have just discovered an insanely fast and effective way to report inappropriate Roblox avatars. The trick is simple. When reporting, select inappropriate language, profanity, and adult content. And then in the comment section, write inappropriate avatar, followed by a quick explanation. After that, Roblox's AI moderation kicks in almost instantly, scanning the account and completely resetting those weird avatars. This is how fast it works. Select the right category, drop a short comment, refresh a couple of times, and boom, the page gets new. Within seconds, that insane avatar went from looking wild and suggestive to a boring default blocky Roblox nude. Bro, the AI just erased their whole drip. Now this method isn't perfect. It's still unclear if the person reported actually gets a warning, but it's promising news, as long as people don't abuse it to target completely innocent avatars. Roblox's AI...
Coming down.
50, 40, 30.
Flare.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
I got it. So. Cardinals coming down.
50, 40, 30.
Flare.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
I got it.
Approaching minimums. Minimums. 200. $100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
About 20 feet there, we got some wind shear, so that caused us to go around.
Plus 100.
Two songs that shouldn't work together, but do.
Monday left me broken. Tuesday I was through with hoping. Wednesday my empty.
Two songs that should.
Alright, so 3, 2, 1, and scammer gets scammed, buddy. That's what you get. You're not getting.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear. Bank angle, bank angle, bank angle. Wind shear, wind. Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear. Wind shear, wind shear.
Stop.
A wind shear is basically
Why do planes fly so closely behind one another over the Atlantic Ocean? Well, if you look at the flight tracking map of the US and Europe, you'll notice planes buzzing around like a beehive. But over the Atlantic, things change dramatically. This route is dubbed the Invisible Highway for planes and was discovered by Japanese meteorologists.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50.
Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear.
Check out this tornado in Kansas and this one in Wyoming. They're actually different from the tornadoes we used to see. Tornadoes require 3 ingredients: moisture, atmospheric instability, and wind shear, which is a sharp change in wind direction. All of these factors are changing the changing climate. This seems to be making tornadoes more destructive and more clustered together, with more tornadoes on single days. It's also predicted that there will be more of them out of season when people are least prepared. But even though tornadoes are complicated and terrifying,
100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Wind shear. Wind shear.
What is wind shear?
Wind shear is when you have
What is wind shear?
Nature's corrupted.
500. Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
Sink rate. Sink rate. Oh, out. Oh, out. Sink rate.
300.
A hurricane starts with the warm water found near.
All the time.
It's the end of 1903.
Ever wonder what happens when your plane turns? It's not always as smooth as you think. Today we are talking about adverse yaw, a common issue pilots deal with. So you're flying along nice and straight. When you want to turn, you push the rudder pedals and move the ailerons. The ailerons are those moving parts on the back of your wing that go up and down. When you turn, one aileron goes down, increasing lift on that wing, and the other goes up, decreasing lift on the other wing. This makes the plane roll. When one aileron goes down to increase lift, it also creates more drag on that wing. Think of it like sticking your hand up.
nice day, very sunny. I like the sun, it makes me happy.
What is wind?
So how do pilots know where they're going? All commercial airlines are fitted with a flight management system, FMS, that pilots are refer to as the box. So how it works is the box also uses GPS.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear. Bank angle, bank angle, bank angle.
Watch this Air New Zealand.
When a plane turns,
there's an invisible killer in the skies, and it's called wind shear. Here are the different types. Jet streams. These high-altitude rivers of air can cause...
V1 rotate. Systems damaged. Wind shear. Obstacle ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Sync rate. To low flaps. To low terrain. To low gear.
Hi, I made a video.
Why don't all planes use the same engines? Let me explain. It might seem easier if every aircraft used one standard engine, but the reality is, different planes are designed for completely different missions.
I know. Quit acting like you know.
Wind shear alert.
Why does this airline only fly its aircraft at night? Let me explain. This is SF Airlines, China's largest cargo airline, and the majority of its flights take off around the world only at night. But why would an airline choose to operate mostly in darkness? Well, night flying helps them stay efficient. Daytime flight slots at busy airports are more expensive and congested, but night slots are cheaper and far less crowded. This means fewer delays, quicker departures, and faster turnaround times. It also reduces fuel burn, saving the airline millions across their 80 aircraft fleet. Most of their aircraft, like the Boeing 737 and 767, are converted from passenger planes into freighters, making them cheaper to operate. Why does Boeing paint its aircraft green? Let me explain. During manufacturing and final assembly before the aircraft is tested, Boeing paints the aircraft in a green primer for anti-corrosion purpose. But this greenish layer is applied to protect the aircraft's aluminum and other metal surfaces. However, this isn't the only purpose. During the assembly process, the green primer helps workers and inspectors easily identify areas that have already been treated with corrosion protection. It makes visual inspection for any damage, missing parts, or scratches easier. The primer serves as a bonding.
Now, did you know? This is the smallest private jet in the world, the Cirrus Vision Jet SF-50. It costs around... The jet engine just sucked in a ton of rainwater. Isn't that dangerous? The answer might surprise you. Since planes can't avoid flying through rain, clever engineers fix the problem right at the source. Most of the rain gets flung outward by the fast-spinning blades, then drained through side channels, like giving the water its own slide. Only a tiny bit makes it inside, but once it does, it hits temperatures of over 1,000 degrees, instantly turning into steam. That's
why do planes circle airports before landing? Let me explain. If you've ever looked out the window and seen your plane flying in circles before landing, you've witnessed something called a holding pattern. These are used when aircraft can't immediately land due to air traffic congestion, poor weather, or runway unavailability.
Here are the zones where no airplane dares to fly. First is Area 51 in the United States. This is an ultra-secret military base belonging to the United States. This zone has an absolute and total prohibition on air traffic. If a civilian or military aircraft appears in this area, it will almost certainly be destroyed. In second place is the Tibetan Plateau in China. It is located in the highest mountain range in the world, the Himalayas. The average altitude here is 5,000 meters above sea level. Airplanes typically fly at an altitude of 10,000 meters, but in the case of a malfunction, they must descend to about 3,000 meters. That's why airplanes face extreme danger if any emergency happens while flying over Tibet.
Why did the MD-11 have a jettison-able tail cone? Let me explain. The MD-11 was Why did the MD-11 have a jettison-able tail cone? Let me explain. The MD-11 was designed in the late 1980s and was built with a unique feature, a jettison tail cone. But why? This unique feature was designed to improve safety during emergencies, particularly when normal exits were unusable. By ejecting the tail cone, the aircraft created a new evacuation route at the rear of the fuselage. Unlike traditional exits, the tail cone evacuation system provided a quick escape option for scenarios such as crash landings or water ditchings. However, it wasn't only about evacuation.
Why do some jets look like they've been squeezed? Why are...
Did you know sudden winds can knock planes out of the sky? Microbursts and wind shear are sneaky threats. Let's break down why they matter. Microbursts are intense downdrafts from storms that hit the ground and spread out fast. Wind shear means quick shifts in wind speed or direction at any altitude. Stay alert, trust your training, and always go around.
Why do planes land sideways during storms? Let me explain. Landing an aircraft in crosswinds or strong gusty wind.
Why do planes fly?
Is it possible to instantly travel through space?
Yes, it is.
Fun fact. Have you ever wondered why planes fly so close?
Here is a simple explanation.
What causes wind? What?
My choice. November 30th, 1968. First John.
What is the name of this guy who baptized Jesus?
Grandpa walked into my room and asked, "Did you just use the toilet?" "Yeah." I paused my game. Grandpa walked into my room and asked,
"Why are iPad kids a whole different species? Like, they'll have the screen brightness set to the surface of the sun, volume maxed out,
and they're watching literal brain rot.
And the grip they have on that iPad, it's like they're holding the last piece of food on Earth. Plus, they're always using an iPad that looks like it's survived a war. Cracked screen, sticky case, and that giant case that looks like it could survive a fall from space. And don't even try to take the iPad away. Even come near their iPad and they'll give you that side eye like you just threatened their entire bloodline. Why are iPad kids a whole different species? Like, they'll have the screen brightness set to the surface of the sun, volume...
I'll take this one. How much is it? $9.98? That's perfect. Here's $10. Here, take it. Wait, what? Do I want my change? Hold that thought. Did you just ask me if I wanted my change? Keep the change. Buy yourself a burger. Pay off your mortgage. Mr. Freaky to the moon. Take your mother to dinner on me. V-Bucks? Nah. $3. Wait, what? What do you mean that's the price before tax? Then what the hell is the price after tax? What? 1101? I don't got that kind of money on me. Give me this. Who sells the juice for $11? I need my fix, man. You know what? I'm taking this. I'll take this one. How much is it? $9.98? That's perfect.
Excuse me. This is what I eat as a vegetarian. Today, it's $2 Tuesday at Pizza Hut. Who needs Taco Tuesday when you can get an amazing deal from Pizza Hut? Each one of these personal-sized pizzas were only $2. What can you get for $2 anymore? You can get one topping, and it's a limited of 4 personal-sized pizzas. This deal is also carry-out only. So Chad got 2, and I got 1. Oh, blue sausage. This is for Chad. Pepperoni for Chad. This has got to be mine. Do-do-do-do. Green pepper. I got the classic one-topping personal-sized pizza with green pepper. Crispy on the outside, fluffy on the inside. Let's give it a try. Now that is good. You can't go to Pizza Hut without getting the breadsticks, in my opinion. Buttery, golden, and definitely crispy. You know I love a dipper. I've got the garlic sauce and the classic ranch dip. Yum. Double yum. You definitely want to get your hands on this amazing deal. I believe this deal goes through the end of July, but maybe, just maybe, they'll extend it. And don't...
Dory, are you okay?
How to pray after you goon. And yes, we're going to talk about Jesus. You see, as Christians, I think we pretty much already know that watching porn is bad. Yet you convince yourself that gooning without watching porn isn't that big of a deal, right? See, I got introduced to porn when I was about 11 years old, and that addiction practically killed my spiritual life. But after my dad caught me in this addiction, he prayed for me, and I found freedom. But that's the thing about freedom. The devil's going to do everything to take it from you. See, the devil will get you to believe that the things that lead to your sin isn't a sin. And believing this lie slowly drags you away from relationship and closeness with God. And remember, the only power the devil has over you is getting you to believe a lie. In Titus, God says that it's not by your righteous works that you're saved, but by his mercy. Which means despite your sin, despite your gooning and your addiction, God still forgives you. Don't let the devil take that from you too. So if this video motivated you, share with a friend and follow for more daily Christian videos. How to pray after you goon. And yes, we're going to talk about Jesus. You see, as Christians, I think we pretty much already know that watching porn is bad. Yet you convince yourself that gooning without watching porn isn't that big of a deal, right? See, I got introduced to porn when I was about 11 years old, and that addiction practically...
I want you to take your tongue off the roof of your mouth. Okay, and now keep your lips pressed together, but with your tongue, take it and press it up to the roof of your mouth.
When did messing with your neighbors stop being a joke? I used to prank my neighbors all the time by airdropping.
The plan.
Who was the first ever...
My son counts back.
In an emergency, you have one chance to get the landing gear down. Boeing gives you a handle.
Let's suck the marrow out of these bones.
Oh my God.
I just completed a 72-hour fast, water only, and this is my first meal back. I got the broth here, I got the bones with the marrow here. Let's dig in.
Alright guys, what is the plan for tonight? Y'all wanna watch a movie?
So this famous comedian sort of helps catch a serial killer.
Run to me, confess the law that is
Day 2 of building an aluminum.
I think we should go get, oh my god.
A woman accident.
I said there's no way Jollibee won a chicken of the year. You tell me
I have never...
God, I got a lust problem. Yeah. Yeah, I'm messing with you, man. I'm messing with you. Yeah, I mean, it is gross, though. I'm not gonna lie. It's gross. It's really gross. Yeah, no, I got it the first time you said it. Yeah. What did you want to talk to me about? Well, to be honest, I just don't know how you can still love me after everything I've done. I'm scared you'll leave because maybe one day I'll cross a line that I can't come back from, and you just won't take it anymore. You crossed that line before you were even born. I made a way to forgive you before you ever sinned. You see.
Alright guys, what is the plan for tonight? Y'all wanna watch a movie or something?
How about we try listening to some funk?
Funk? Hell no, that shit is so ass! I'd rather shit in my hands and clap over listening to funk.
Bro, you've only ever listened to bad funk songs before. Let me put you onto some real funk. Da-na-na! Da-na. Hey, what happened to my music?
Melvin, that shit is so ass, we are not listening to that for another second. How can somebody even listen to music like that?
How can I listen to music like that?
This is how...
Now we eat Taco Bell for the whole...
Sveti, sveti, srpska zemlja, kroz oblake leti, leti preko nebeskih visina, krila su joj Morava i Drina. Zbogom prvi nerođeni sine, zbogom ružo, zbogom ruzmarine, zbogom leto, jesen i zimo.
Hitting your kids is not discipline. You're just teaching them to be scared of you instead of loving you. Said that. Yo, hold on.
If you watching this video, yeah, I'm talking to you. Just know you beautiful, babe.
3 signs that you might be an ectomorph, bro. Number 1, you have skinny wrists. Or if you have skinny joints, there's a good chance that you might be an ectomorph. It's because ectomorph...
Tra-la-lero, tra-la-la, shark with blue shoes. Slides through the sea like he's got nothing to lose. Tung 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 sahur, puffing real slow. Wooden and smooth, got that silent glow. Bombardino, crocodilo, engines roar. Jet croc snapping through the ocean floor. Packed up and floating slow.
Today our Uncle Mike came to a barbecue restaurant. After entering, Uncle Mike first took off his jacket. The staff took care of his bag and clothes, and brought him a menu to look at for a while. He first ordered wasabi tenderloin, round and triangle cuts. Of course, he couldn't do without a cup of oolong tea. Soon the master chef brought out the charcoal fire, and also served hand-torn cabbage as an appetizer, dipped in sauce, refreshing and crisp.
There's 3 reasons.
In front of me is the tallest mountain in turboprop flight simulator. Can I summit this mountain with a matching vehicle? I started driving over the runway and into the mountain. Shortly after, I almost crashed the car, but it managed to survive. The higher it got, the steeper it came. The car barely went forward, and the car nearly stopped. I drove sideways in order for the car to go faster. Then I finally reached the top. In front of me is...
After 3 years abroad on a top-secret mission, I finally returned to my homeland. With permission granted, I came home, filled with excitement, thinking I'd finally see my wife and mother again. But the moment I arrived, that joy was crushed. At the entrance of my house, my mother was crouched inside a small doghouse-like shelter. In front of her sat a metal basin. She was lying on the ground like a dog, eating rotten food from it. A man stood nearby, watching her with a mocking smile. If you want someone to blame, blame your useless son. He died young and left you here to suffer alone. He raised his hand mid-sentence and slapped my mother across the face. My mother flinched, but didn't say a word. She lowered her head and quickly swallowed the stinking, spoiled food. Furious, I stepped forward and kicked the man aside. Then I pulled my mother up, tears streaming down my face. I had risked my life for the country, thinking I was protecting the people I loved. But this was how my mother had been treated in my...
Deixa ela montar na minha garupa, deixa ela montar na minha garupa. Deixa ela montar na minha garupa, deixa ela montar na minha garupa. Que eu tô tipo Nina Bravanel mandando a mídia se fuder, batendo na cara.
Yo, what? Yo, it's not that funny, yo. Yo, that's how y'all met? Yeah. Wow, bro, you have no name. Yo, it worked though. You wanna come over for dinner tonight? What do you have? Yo, I heard Michael makes a dope omelet. And we can ask Gabriel to come over too if he's free. Let's do it.
What if Eve never ate the apple? Ever wondered how different life would be if Eve never ate that apple in the Garden of Eden? Let's dive into it. Imagine a paradise where Adam and Eve lived in perfect harmony with God. Nature and each other. They enjoyed the beauty of the garden without shame or fear, living in blissful innocence. But when Eve gave in to temptation,
Adam and Eve should have been Chinese. Just eat the snake and leave the apple, and we would not be struggling, suffering.
up.
What kind of goodbye doesn't hurt? Bye, class. What kind of...
3 types of guys that girls do not find attractive. And this is part 2 because you all like the other one so much. If you're any of these, especially the last one, it might be over for you. 1, the dude who is way too lustful. Do you really think girls don't know when that's all you want them? For guys who are really, really obsessed with women, like the one that's always talking about them, it's never gonna pull. 1, you'll never see this dude with females. No matter how good you look, you're over here stalking this girl's IG all the time. And it's worse now because you can tell, you guys always think I'm lying, but if you press share, go over and hit Instagram direct, it pops up a list of people. If you see her name, top 3 in there, hey, she could be stalking you and she might like you. But remember, girls can do that same thing and see if you're stalking them. 2, you guys aren't gonna like this one. But no matter how handsome you are, how many points you put up in your sports games, how much money you have, if you're short, it makes it way harder to pull women. Don't stress about your height. If you're young still though, and I mean like below the age of 25, drop your height and age in the comments.
Drawing random lines to see if Spotify will scan it. Part 1. Let's go!
E o DJ Série Jazz.
What did your child do that almost got them arrested but made you secretly proud? My 10-year-old son hacked into his teacher's bank account and donated her money to charity. The FBI showed up at my door on a Tuesday morning. 2 agents in dark suits asked if I was the mother of Jackie Chen. When I nodded, they said my son was being investigated for federal computer crimes. Ma'am, your child accessed unauthorized financial accounts and transferred significant funds. This is a felony. I stared at them in disbelief. Jackie was obsessed with coding, but only used his computer for Minecraft and math games. The idea of him committing financial crimes was absurd. They drove me to his elementary school, where Jackie sat in the principal's office, surrounded by laptops and printouts. He looked tiny in the adult chair, but his eyes were bright with satisfaction. Jackie, baby, what did you do? I fixed something that was broken, Mom. Agent Rodriguez opened his laptop. Your son infiltrated Mrs. Johnson's online banking and made 17 unauthorized charitable donations totaling $4,200. $4,000? My heart stopped. We barely had that much in our own savings. The donations went to Children's Hospital, the Animal Rescue Foundation, and the Food Bank, all local charities. I looked at Jackie, searching for some explanation. Honey, why would you steal Mrs. Johnson's money? Jackie's jaw set in that stubborn way I recognized from when he was learning to walk. I didn't steal it, Mom. I gave it back to the people she stole it from. Agent Martinez leaned forward. What do you mean she stole it? Mrs. Johnson runs the school fundraiser every year. Kids bring in money for underprivileged children and classroom supplies. I remember Jackie bringing home those fundraiser packets. We donated $50 last month, but she doesn't give the money to poor kids. She puts it in her personal account. The principal shifted uncomfortably. Jackie, that's a very serious accusation. I can prove it. Jackie pulled out a tablet covered in his dinosaur stickers. I built a program that tracks digital payments. Look, the screen showed a complex spreadsheet with hundreds of transactions. Every family donates thinking they're helping kids, but Mrs. Johnson transfers the money to her personal savings account within 24. What did your...
Things
things that only happen to attractive guys. If you don't relate to at least 2 of these, especially the last one, you might not be as attractive as you think. 1. Girls don't approach you? That's a sign you're attractive. Let me explain. Girls only approach guys they know they can get. So if you're attractive, but they still don't come up to you, it's because they've already put you on a high pedestal. To them, you're out of reach. That's actually a compliment in disguise. 2. The striking face filter test. Use the striking face filter. If you look exactly the same with and without it, sorry, you didn't pass. But if you look way better with the filter off and it changes your face a lot, congrats, you're naturally good looking. Guys who pass this test tend to attract people effortlessly. No joke. 3. Girls stare but never approach. That's because instead of talking to you, they're stalking your socials. Here's how to catch them. Press share on this video, then go.
Emma, your mom was acting really weird last night.
Weird how?
She kept complimenting me. Said I grew into a man real nice. Found excuses to touch me, my arms, my chest.
You're kidding, right?
She even said, if you ever get bored of Emma, come find me. Then she got up and said she was going to the bathroom. Left the door wide open.
Only 1% of people can comment door with their eyes closed.
That's too easy. Dore. What? It's impossible. Like she wanted me to follow.
Are you serious right now?
That's not even the worst part. She looked me dead in the eyes and said, if Emma doesn't know how to use, I can give you some mommy experience.
You're lying. Please tell me you're lying.
I didn't know if I should tell you, but you deserve to know what she really is.
Is there something you want to explain to me? Or should I spell it out for you?
What? That you're as hot as hell? Yeah, I noticed.
Are you out of our damn mind? Do you have any shame at all?
Relax, what's the big deal?
You were touching him, flirting with him, leaving the bathroom wide open like a damn invitation. You told him if I don't know how to use it, you'd give him the mommy experience? Are you sick?
I said what I said. David's a real man. He deserves to be treated like one.
I'm your daughter. You're supposed to protect me, not compete with me.
It's hard to support a girl who doesn't know what she's doing, especially when she's wasting a man like that. Maybe if you were more of a woman, you wouldn't worried about mommy stepping in.
Let me use the Cantina app to
Did you know sleeping naked improves testosterone and sleep quality? Did you know trimming your armpit hair makes deodorant?
Eat my ass.
What would happen? How to make someone regret insulting you. But first comment power.
Reverse thrust is not what you actually think it is. Commercial jet engines are only designed to spin one way, and they can't reverse direction. So how do they create reverse thrust? I'm Ethan, an incoming aerospace engineer at the University of Illinois. So there's many different kinds of reverse thrust, but the most common kind is the cold stream reverser. Here, the engine cowling opens up and blockers are deployed inside the engine itself, which redirects the engine's airflow forward, basically creating reverse thrust, without reversing the direction the engine spins. There's many different kinds of reverse thrust. For
Flats.
Reverse thrust is not what you actually think it is. Commercial jet engines are only designed to spin one way, and
Men are greedy. Y'all greedy.
When men get money, you know what's their thought process when men get money? What? I can finally take care of her family. Now, when a woman gets her money and gets things, what does she say? I don't need a man.
I don't need a man.
So who's really the...
I punished my son after he said something racist. Last Tuesday, I was making dinner when my 14-year-old son Travis came home from school looking all worked up. He slammed his backpack down and started going off about this new kid in his class named Ahmed, who had joined the soccer team. I was only half listening while stirring the pasta sauce, but then Travis said something that made me freeze. Dad, why do we have to let these Arabs on our team? They're probably terrorists anyway. Coach should have just told him no. I literally dropped the wooden spoon. I turned around and looked at my kid like I was seeing him for the first time. This was the same boy who used to cry when we accidentally stepped on ants. The same kid who insisted we donate his old toys every Christmas because other kids need them too. What did you just say? I asked him. He repeated it, but with even more confidence this time, like he thought I'd agree with him. Said his friend's dad told them that's just how those people are. My stomach dropped. I realized I'd been so focused on working double shifts at the warehouse that I hadn't been paying attention to what garbage he was picking up from other kids. I sat him down at the kitchen table and tried to explain why what he said was wrong, but he just rolled his eyes and said I was being too sensitive, that Ahmed probably didn't even belong here anyway. That's when I knew talking wasn't gonna cut it. I told Travis he was grounded for 2 weeks. No Xbox, no hanging out with friends, nothing. But more importantly, I signed him up to volunteer at the Islamic Community Center downtown every Saturday for the next month. I called them up that night and explained the situation to this woman named Fatima, who ran their youth programs. She was incredibly understanding and said they'd love to have Travis help with their weekend food bank and kids activities. I also made him write a formal apology letter to Ahmed, which I personally delivered to his parents along with an explanation of what happened. Travis was furious. He accused me of ruining his life and and said I was embarrassing him, but I told him he embarrassed himself when he decided to repeat ignorant nonsense. The first Saturday at the community center was rough. Travis sat in my truck for 10 minutes refusing to get out, acting like I was dropping him off at prison. But Fatima came out and started talking to him about soccer, which got him to finally walk inside. By the third week, something started changing. Travis came home telling me about this little kid named Omar, who thought he was the coolest thing ever because Travis helped him with his math homework. He started asking questions about different cultures and why people leave their home countries. The breaking point came during his last Saturday there. Travis was helping serve lunch when Ahmed's little sister Layla came in with their mom. Turns out Ahmed's family had been going there for grocery assistance because his dad was still looking for work after they'd moved here. Travis saw Ahmed helping translate for his mom and watching his little sister while she picked out food. When we got home that day, Travis asked if we could donate some of our extra canned goods to the food bank. I'm not gonna lie, those 4 weeks were exhausting. Driving him there every weekend, dealing with his attitude, having uncomfortable conversations about prejudice and empathy. But seeing him genuinely connect with people he'd written off based on ignorant assumptions made every minute worth it.
I'm here in Sharjah.
I punished my son.
Let's pack my daughter's lunch today.
And no cheese. No, you don't.
Watch how fake friends act with their friends.
What's my hand look like this? Stupid ass little boy. When's last time you said water? Yes, sir. I can tell you look graduate.
Unlock the door. Call me daddy first.
Unlock the door.
Call me daddy first.
Unlock the door.
Call me daddy first. Door would have been unlocked. All you had to do was call me daddy. Just call me daddy first. Hey, baby.
Going to this picture side chick? I'm sorry. No, baby, no, baby. Why do you keep doing this?
Bro, come on. Oh, my bad. Did you want it back? No. Because I can get back to going back. Did you want it back? No. All right. Well, what the hell is wrong with you? You think that shit is funny? I don't think that shit is funny. I know that shit is funny. Y'all thought we were getting into it with somebody else. We ain't got no ops. We from the burbs. Y'all chill, man. Scary ass. Hey, you got food on your face. Did I get it? Nah, let me get it for you. Yeah, I got it.
Flats. Spoilers. Spoilers.
Flats. Flats.
2,500.
Flats. Flats. Gear down.
$1,000.